Welcome everybody. I came by Rubey. Thank you for just being here. Mind over matter. Definition: mind, the element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences. That's an awesome thing. Through your mind, just having all these worldly experiences, right? Some of them are good, sometimes they're tough. We say that to a lot of videos, but that's what helps us grow. The metaphysical meaning of mind would be what? If you have faith and you believe in something, the God concept of spirit within you, and thought, the mind, and once you do that thought, that action, reaction becomes something, right? Mind power, directing your thoughts towards a desired outcome. And you hear this a lot, you are what you think, right? So that's what that would be, directing your thoughts towards a desired outcome. A lot of people do affirmations, mantras, visualization of what they want to achieve. Those are all great things you can implement to have that mind power and get what? Towards that desired outcome. The metaphysical meaning, if you want to get spiritually into it, think of it as that spirit and thought. So we said mind, matter, anything that takes up space. Anything that takes up space, isn't that something? I look at it as, okay, I believe everything has that consciousness. I said this and other things that I talked about in videos. If you treat everything like it has that consciousness, you'll learn how to respect yourself and everyone around you and everything that's near you, down to the simplest thing in your home. Even your animals, your pets, you love them like family, right? The central processing unit. Let's delve a little bit into the body as a living computer. So that brain, to me, the left and right hemisphere, and you always want to try to make that as one, is a central processing unit responsible for carrying out instructions given to you or to it by the user. So it's responsible for carrying out instructions, right? Given to you would be what your body's telling you. And the spirit just sends, what's it telling you? What is it speaking to you? What is your intuition telling you? In the aspect of a computer, it's what the user inputs. Vice versa. Whatever you input within your mind or your visualization, your thoughts, is what that computer is going to start pushing out to the rest of all your body. All those neurons, all that electric impulses shooting out. You could picture it, your brain, your spine, everything coming down, and that thought process shoots out to the body. It looks like that, like if you would see all those electrical, like just coming out, like tree branches. You know how the roots are all over, but you would see that pulse, poof, and then come back up. A lot to do with esoteric knowledge and wisdom. They talk about a lot about that. The spine, your DNA, the rising of Kundalini, your Christ consciousness, your brain, your third eye. If you look into it, it's all with the body. A lot of symbology. And if you look at it and to see the photos within the brain and all the symbols and all esoteric knowledge and wisdom, it matches up. Like you could overlay it and it's like, wow, I understand. I believe ourselves, we're like a capacitor. That's why you'll hear a lot of times, if you hear people say, a lot of times you hear them say, I went to Egypt, I went to the pyramid. I went with a smaller group and then we were able to lay within, and one of the pyramids is that sarcophagus of the granite. And they laid in there and they would stay and meditate, and they had profound experiences, right? If you ever think about when you plug a battery into something, isn't it what? A lot of times it's square, it has those two connectors, gotta have that polarity, the negative, positive, to get that electrical charge going. Imagine if these things were back in the day, they were able to harness that energy and they was able to travel back and forth. Your mind, spiritually, all type of things. I believe they knew a lot of things we didn't know, and we're seeing just an aspect of something that is a machinery where you look at it and you're like, wow, I could only imagine when this thing was working in its prime. Oof. It must have been a sight to behold. Because now you're seeing the remnants of it at a deteriorated stage. Back to the sarcophagus. You would be that capacitor. Boop, body fits right in there perfect. Your body itself is full of the electricity that's going up and down through it. Imagine if everything within you was aligned, like what I always say. I could only imagine what could be achieved. The point I'm getting to is, with all of this, I believe that prior to us, human civilization back in the day, I believe, was a lot more technically advanced and intelligent than we are now. We simply have regressed because of the cycle. We constantly rise to that high level, but every empire, if you ever notice, has fallen. And then it seems like we go back and start again. Now we seem to be on that verge, and you can see it between AI and all type of technology and everything that's coming out. We're going on that verge of that height again. I believe if we could keep a balance between the technology and spirituality, not to blend them both, but keep them distinctly, I don't like to say separate, but almost in a respectful polarity. Just like that capacity. You need that positive and that negative. We can achieve things that would be unbelievable. If we go either way towards either one, more on either side, and don't keep that balance, that's when things could get a little hairy. But that's a topic for another time. Back to this. So my point to all of this with mind over matter, the body is a living computer. You have to realize the potential that you have within yourself for any desired outcome. If people before knew how all this information was contained within us, and we're almost like our best, we always tend to look out. I give you a little experience I had the other day. So I was going and I said, you know what, Rube, what would you do in this situation? And that self-talk, just don't talk out loud, because people might think you're a little bit off. Do the self-talk within the mind. Don't move the list, just it's self-talk. Is it bad or good? It depends if you're really trying to uplift yourself. No negative thoughts. I had this self-thought, and I realized that, man, I just intuitively everything came to me. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, all right, I didn't have to look outside. It was within myself. It's just a matter of you accessing that thumb drive that's within you. Because for a lot of us, it's sitting right there on the table, and the CPU in the mind on a desk, unplugged. But once you plug it in, you could download, get everything you need, then that's it. You don't need it no more because it's within here. You can retrieve it, go back anytime you want, get as much information you need. But to do this, one must realize you must constantly work the mind, because it is just like a muscle. If you become too laxy-daisy, you're done. It's just like your body. You don't work out, you don't eat right, you start to fall apart. It's like anything in life. If you don't take care of it and maintain it, it will fall apart. A lot of sites, if they didn't maintain them, historical sites, they might have been gone. What I'm saying is, you're important. You contain so much energy. Look right here. Mind, body, and matter. Unbelievable. Be that capacitor within your life. Touch that positive, negative, and let that energy flow through you, through the people around you. Be that good vibe, and through Earth. Connect with it. Connect deeply with yourself, your faith, your belief. Stand firm. And like I always said, I'll never get tired of saying this. Try to be the best version of yourself. No one's perfect. Even me teaching this, I sometimes, even with my close significant other, and I'll say, you know what? One thing I realize is that no matter how much you know, how much you learn, we're still human. We're not perfect. Don't beat yourself up. Keep going. Because you'll get to a point where you just rebound so quickly from everything that at one point you won't need to rebound no more because you'll be living the life that you always wanted to live. Take care, everyone. I Can by Rubey.